So my name's Jonathan. I live in Valdosta, Georgia. That is as South Georgia as you can get before you cross over into Florida. I love it. We call it home. And, I talk about how I overcame food addiction, but honestly, I'm like Travis. I've heard him say this. I'm kind of a recovering addict. Once you've been a big guy, you're kind of always the big guy on the inside. And so what Shibboleth has done, it's not only allowed me to adopt a lifestyle that I can live for the rest of my life and I lost the weight, but it also gives me a great management system, right? Because, I don't know if I'll ever get over that guy that's on the inside, but I'm able to manage him. And so I love that about Shibboleth. So, maybe you're watching tonight and maybe you are a busy mom. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. You've got a baby on each hip and on each arm, and you're like, man, I don't have time to cook all this like crazy food. And well, guess what? You don't have to. We've got lots of grab and go stuff. Let's see, maybe you're somebody who you work an office job and you're like, man, all I can do is run through a drive-through. Great thing is you can go through the drive-through. You can still lose weight. I did that. And let's see, maybe you are someone who is struggling with health issues. And you are at your wit's end. You're at the end of your rope and you are looking for something that you can lose some weight and become a healthier version of you. I want to tell you that you can find that hope in Shibboleth tonight. And so I hope to share that with you. My story goes something a little like, I've been through lots of phases of weight. So as a small kid, I was an average size child, and then I hit that weird ugly stage. Y'all know what stage I'm talking about. I don't mean to be rude, but everybody has that ugly stage. It's like 10, 11, 12. I don't know what happens. The ugly fairy just comes down and taps you with a wand. And so I went through not only the ugly stage, but the chubby stage. Can I get a witness? Did anybody go through the chubby stage right along with me? And so I remember being, 10, 11, 12 years old. And if you've heard my testimony, that's fine. Just act like you ain't heard it. I mentioned to my wife a little while ago, and she was like, well, you don't have to tell every detail. And I said, honey, this is like sharing the gospel. You don't skip out on the gospel. You share the gospel, and somebody hadn't heard it, and they'll hear it. So I'm gonna tell you all my story. So there was a clothing brand called Bugle Boy. Who remembers Bugle Boy? Give me some hearts. Give me some likes over on Facebook. Talk to me on this Zoom chat. So we'd go to Bugle Boy every time school would start, and my brother, who was always the normal size child, he got to go over there and shop in the cool clothes, and I'd stand way back, and isn't that great? And so then there was me, the chubby kid, and us chubby kids, we had our own section called Husky. And so, once my normal size brother would go do his school shopping, my mother would declare to the Bugle Boy store, attention, Jonathan, please make your way to the Husky section. Now she denies that, but I'm telling you, somebody said, yeah, they remember the Husky section. And so I'd go shop in the Husky section. I hit my teenage years, and then I went through that stage where the hormones are just going nuts, and I got real thin, got stick thin, played sports. I played basketball, so I was pretty active in high school, and graduated, married my high school sweetheart. I'm actually going to share my screen right now and show you all my family, just because, and I have a point to that. Let's share my screen, and let's do this, and let's do this portion of my screen, and I'm going to minimize that. See what we can do here. Well, I would try to share my screen, but let's see. We'll just do this. We'll share screen right here. There we go. Y'all should be able to see that now. I'm not sure. Maybe you can. There we go. I am officially sharing my screen. That makes me feel better. This is my family. Aren't they cute? This is my wife. We've been in love since we were 16 years old. This is my son, Asher, and my daughter, Grace Anna. And she just started working at Chick-fil-A. And guess what? You can have Chick-fil-A fried chicken nuggets. Yes, you can on Shibboleth and lose weight. That's an amazing thing. My son, he graduated from high school a couple years ago. He was working at Publix, and now he's working at a yard place. He's going to be hot this summer. But this is my wife, and together we all do Shibboleth together. So I know a lot of people ask, well, can we do this as a family? Absolutely, you can do this as a family. My daughter actually just joined. She got her own membership to Shibboleth because she wanted to be able to track her progress and her health. And so we're excited about that. So this is my family. But y'all, me and Kimberly, we got married. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. And so not only do I love to eat food, I come from a long line of eaters, but I love to cook. And actually, when we got home from our honeymoon 20 years ago, I cooked our first meal. And guess what it was? It was fried chicken on the bone. Yes, it was. I know how to cook. And so we ate anything we wanted. We were thin. Well, then about 6 months into our marriage, we found out that we were expecting our first child, Asher, here. And so that was a blessing and kind of a shock all at the same time. And so my weight gain started, we were young when we got married. So we had Asher when we were 20 years old. And my weight gain really started when we were expecting him because, my wife, she would make these late night runs to Taco Bell. And I mean, if she's eating a taco at midnight, I felt like I should have a taco at midnight. And so I did. Well, in 9 months, she gained 25 pounds with our first child, and I gained 30 pounds with our first child. She goes into the hospital to have Asher, and that happens. And then we leave the hospital, and she's 25 pounds lighter already. And here I am still 30 pounds heavier, thinking, what in the world am I going to do? And so, that really started my journey of dieting. Right. And on Shibboleth, we do not diet. The first 3 letters in diet are die. We live a lifestyle, but I had to go through some of those diets to understand the beauty of Shibboleth. And I'm sure a lot of you watching tonight can relate to that as well. So I had done things like, low carb. So I watched my carbs. I never ate a piece of bread for a month. And then I didn't have a potato and I didn't have corn. And I don't know about y'all, but if you tell me I can't have a piece of bread or if I can't have a potato, that's all I can think about, right? I mean, I was like, that's all I can think about. So I'd eat my fill of meat and vegetables and not really watching any fat. I'm just eating high fat. And I'd lose some weight, But then a birthday would roll around, or maybe even just the weekend, and I would see a piece of bread, and then I would eat the whole loaf of bread because I had excluded that entire food category from my diet. And so what I found is, a lot of these diets that we go on, you can lose weight on them, but what you've got to find is something that's sustainable. And the thing that I love about Shibboleth is that it's inclusive, it's not exclusive. So we still get to eat all of the food categories. Let's see, what else did I do? I did another one that starts with a W. I won't call him names, but we counted points. And my problem with that is you could have anything you wanted as long as you were within your points. And so some days I'd have a whole sleeve of Oreos and eat all my 36 points in one sitting. And then I couldn't eat anything for the rest of the day. Can I get a witness? And so what that did was it didn't really teach me nutrition and making sure that I was properly eating all of the food categories. And let's see, I tried keto. I know that's a really hot trend. I tried that for like 6 hours or something crazy and figured out, yeah, this ain't for me. The whole keto thing, I just, more power to you if you can live that lifestyle. Again, it's all about a lifestyle that you can live. And so in May of 2018, it was the weekend of Memorial Day. I was at my mom's house, and just to let you know, I'm 5'9". I'm not a tall guy. I would say I'm average, but I'm probably on the shorter end of that. And I'm 5'9", and at that time I was weighing 212 pounds. I know to a lot of people that doesn't sound heavy, but when you're 5'9", you don't have a lot of places for it to go but out. It can't go up or down. It has to come out. And so I had this belly, and I had total dad bod. Right, you hear people talk about that, the dad bod, and I was sporting one of those Absolutely. So we're at my mom's house on Memorial Day weekend, and she had started Shibboleth, I think maybe a few weeks before then, and I had not heard of it. And I was at their house. We were swimming in the swimming pool, and I had my shirt on, and it was wet, and it was all sticking in my, in my rolls. And really, at that time, I had just had about enough of myself as I could stand. And maybe you're there watching tonight and you can relate to that. Maybe you're tired of, let's go to the physical side. Maybe you're tired of the way you look in the mirror. And I can totally relate with you on that. I was tired of, in a group of people, being kind of the big guy. I would look at all these people, other people in my circle, and man, they look great, they're fit, and here I am trying to stuff myself into a pair of pants. I know how it feels to not have a whole lot of anything in the closet that wasn't cutting you off during the day, or by the end of the day. I work an office job, feeling like I was gonna, just be cut in half because of my belt was on the last buckle, on the last hole. And so I can relate to that. Maybe you're on the health side, and you're just thinking, man, my numbers are crazy, and my blood work, my panels are terrible, and the doctor tells you over and over every time you go to the doctor that you've got to lose the weight. And I've been there too. I'd go for my checkups, and my blood pressure would always be high, and he would tell me I need to lose a few pounds. And let's see, my wife and I both struggled with LPR, which is called silent reflux. And that's where my wife actually went through a time that she was having trouble breathing, and went to a pulmonologist, thought it was her lungs. It wound up being LPR, silent reflux. And so we were dealing with all of these, not only the physical part of it, but the health issues that come along with obesity. And maybe you're watching tonight and you know how I was feeling. And so that day that we were at my parents' house, I was feeling all of that. So my mom comes to me, we were about to leave, and she said, hey, I need to tell you about this program that I've started. And it's called, at that time, I thought she said Shabubu or something. I was like, what? Shibboleth. She said, I want to tell you about Shibboleth. And I was like, I don't want to hear it, because if you know our family, I come from a very long line of cooks. I come from a long line of people who love to eat, and I come from a long line of dieters, right? We've got the library, we just never could stick to anything. And so I said, I don't want to hear about one more thing. She said, just come sit with me for a minute. So I went over there and sat at the kitchen table. She pulled out her laptop, and she pulled up the Shibboleth website. And I was like, I've done low carb. She's like, it's not low carb. You can have bread and you can have potatoes. Well, when she said that, I kind of perked up, and I was like, you can? I mean, you tell me I can have bread, I am on board. And just to let y'all know, I lost 50 pounds in just about 7 months eating peanut butter toast for breakfast, right? I love peanut butter and I love bread. You can have them both together. And that's what I had just about every morning for breakfast. And so mom said, you can have bread and you can have potatoes. And I said, well, man, I think I could do that. So she showed me a little bit of the website. I'm going to show y'all some of that tonight. And then she showed me the testimonies of these people on the website. And these people were like, I lost 50 pounds in 4 months. And I'm thinking, how can this possibly be? And so I started researching on the website and looking around when I came home, and I told her I'd look at it. And me and Kimberly sat down, and I told her, I said, I want you to look at this. And she was like, I do not, if I have to eat another handful of meat and green beans, I'm going to die. We had done low carb so many times. I was like, you get bread? And she said, oh, you do? Well, she kind of kicked and screamed about it. She hates it when I say that, because she's lost about 40 pounds herself on Shibboleth. And so that night, she felt like it was going to be one of those things that we had done, and I felt hope. So I took the debit card out and I swiped the debit card, and it was $99 for a year membership. And I did that. And from that minute on, it has been the craziest journey I was able to lose within my first 5 months. I was able to lose 40 pounds. Within that 7 month mark, I lost 50 pounds. I've stayed. Remember, I said we have a management system, and I was able to stay within about 5 pounds. I've been on the low end. I've lost up to 54 pounds, but I fluctuate. The great thing about it is when we have holidays, and I'll tell you about that, we get 6 holidays a month, y'all. We get 6 days a month. We can eat whatever we want. And that means you can go to all the buffets in town and fill your plate up 10 times, and you can have that. Or you can just have a little holiday where you have maybe a bag of chips, something you've really been craving, but 6 times a month we get to do that. And so I was able to lose the weight, y'all, and it was great. And my wife lost weight, and then it started catching on with people in my church. They were like, "What in the world are you doing?" And then, my Facebook community started asking questions and checking it out. And it's been just the craziest roller coaster, y'all. And I love talking about Shibboleth because I know the hope that it can bring to so many people. There are so many, like I was, who are just bound by the chains of obesity. You think that's the way that you have to be. You think that is the way that maybe, I was in my mid 30s. Maybe that's just the way it's going to be. Maybe you're a lady and you're in your 50s or 60s and you've kind of given up to the fact that that's the way that it has to be. And friend, I'm here to tell you tonight, that is not the way that it has to be because of Shibboleth. And so it's done remarkable things. Went from a 38 waist pant down to a loose 32. And I've been able to maintain that. So let me tell you a little bit about how it works. So Shibboleth is education. Shibboleth is teaching you that all whole foods fall into one of 7 categories. And then through the program, and I'm going to show you the website in a little bit, Kim Danke, who is like the queen of Fast Track. I love Fast Track. And so Fast Track is the first thing you're going to do when you become a Shibboleth member. And so Kim is going to teach you that all foods fall into one of 7 categories. And then you learn how to take those foods in those categories and properly combine those categories together in order to control insulin and burn fat. So there are some categories that we never put together. And then there are tons of categories that we can put together. And so you learn what you can't, maybe you can put a 1 and a 2 category. Those, we number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can put these categories together. Don't put these together or you'll be on the fat bus. You'll be storing fat. And that's what we're trying to avoid. And so the first thing you're going to do is watch Fast Track. And that's all on the website, guys. It's all included in the program. And so let's see, we get 3 meals a day and 1 snack. That's called a perfect day. And remember, I said that we get holidays. We get 6 holidays a month, y'all. What other program have you been on that they tell you, yeah, so here's how we do it, me and my wife. We sit down at the beginning of the month. We take out our calendar. Maybe we say, well, on the 5th, we have this, some friends over. So we're gonna take a holiday then. And then on the 15th, we're going to have a church thing. And so we're going to have a holiday then. And so what we do is we schedule out those 6 holidays. I mean, what other program says take your calendar down and write on it when you're going to go stuff your face at the local buffet? And y'all can tell I love a buffet because I keep talking about the buffet. So we love that about the lifestyle. And that's what makes it sustainable for me as well, is because I've got something to look forward to. And y'all, I remember when I was the big guy, it was nothing for me just to go eat whatever I wanted. But I appreciate those holidays even more now. And I look forward to the times that I do get to eat all the foods because, we've put the work in, we've stayed perfect. We've had those days that we followed the program. And so we get to kind of reward ourselves, even though you feel bad afterwards. Good grief. Can I talk about recovery after a holiday? But we don't have to limit ourselves. And I love that about Shibboleth. And so the other thing that I'll tell you about Shibboleth that kind of differentiates it from all the other things that I've ever tried is the support system. And did you know that included in your Shibboleth membership is one-on-one mentoring. Yes. If you need some additional help understanding the program, if you're having a day or a week and you feel like you've fallen off the bandwagon, you can schedule a one-on-one appointment with one of our support team members, and they are fantastic. They're going to help you and encourage you and motivate you and give you a little, maybe a gentle push in the right direction, right? We all need somebody to push us sometime. But not only that, we have a super convenient way to get answers quickly. And I love this. Right on the Shibboleth website is a chat feature. And that chat feature, I think it's available from like 9 in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. Those ladies that answer those chat requests are awesome. When I was first starting, I blew that thing up. And I just appreciate those the team members who are on the support staff and part of that chat feature, because I tell y'all, I use that thing like crazy. Not only that, but we have a great community of people on Facebook and social media who are willing to help you do this lifestyle, because we've done it. We've walked where you have walked. I started on day one not knowing anything. There is nothing special about me except I just followed the program. And so I love the fact that you're not on your own. You know, we don't give you a pamphlet and say, hey, here, go and do this. We give you endless resources. But on top of that, if you have questions or need additional help, we've got a great support team. And our community of people, of Shibboleth members who have walked this journey, have walked the road. They know the stumbling blocks that are going to be put in your way. They know that once you get to those roadblocks, how to overcome those. And they're so willing to share hope and information and practical tips with you. And I love that. So really quick, I want to show y'all the website. So let me share my screen again and do this really quick. So you should be able to see my screen. And let me click on, I'm going to take you to the Shibboleth. Oh, you know what? Let me show y'all some pictures really quick. That was me. Can you believe that? Can y'all believe that was me? This is a suit that I bought when my grandmother, my mom's mom, passed away, and all my other suits I couldn't even button the jacket to those other suits. And so this was my first pair of 38 size waist pants. And this was sad times for me. I knew I was a big guy. This is me at Home Depot there, sporting, I don't know what I was doing. I looked like I was feeling good, but I knew I couldn't. Look at this, y'all, this plaid shirt. Have you ever? I really thought I was camouflaging myself in this shirt, but come to find out, stripes going this way don't really help when you're a big guy. But y'all, look, this is my 50-pound badge. I love these badges on Shibboleth. So if you don't know me, and a lot of you don't, I'm a words of affirmation guy. So these badges that they award you with, when you reach milestones, there's a 10 pounds lost badge. There's a 25-pound lost badge. We got people who have earned their 150-pound badge, crazy, crazy stuff. And so this was a great feeling to log in. They're just so big on celebrating the milestones. And I love that about Shibboleth. This is a quick before and after. Some of you have seen this picture of me. I'll just run through these really quick. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, to go from this guy to the guy on the right, it's still unbelievable when I go back and look at pictures. I will tell you that once you start on your journey, you want to make sure that you do take lots of befores, because you're going to be able to compare them to your afters. And people might ask, if you follow me on Instagram and social media, Facebook, you might say, man, you sure do post a lot of pictures of yourself. And I'll tell you, it's more for me. It's more for accountability, because I never want to go back to that guy. That guy right there was sick. Y'all, I mentioned that my wife and I suffered from LPR, and that's silent reflux, and she had it a lot worse than I did. It was affecting her breathing. She had a chronic cough all the time. When we hear people chronically coughing, I just wonder, are they suffering with that? But within 2 weeks on Shibboleth, y'all, and I'll show you on my wife. This was her before and after. Within 2 weeks, I looked over, and y'all, when I say she had a chronic cough, I mean every word of it. And it was, this is going to sound terrible. I'm a terrible husband. Let me just go ahead and say, I was so annoyed by her cough. Constantly clearing her throat. Watch a movie, clear the throat. Sit in church, clear the throat all the time. And it was that LPR, that reflux. And within 2 weeks, I remember we were sitting in the living room watching TV together, and I looked over at her and I said, do you realize you have not cleared your throat? And I noticed in that moment, she had not cleared her throat in a couple of days, and it dawned on her as well. And she was like, because we had been told the only way to avoid the symptoms of LPR is a low-fat diet. And so Shibboleth does take into account the fat in the foods. And so because of that, now it didn't heal her. When we go and have a holiday, her LPR flares up, but it does. Our bodies work so much better when we're putting the right things in them. This is kind of a progress picture of me. You guys can see there that I just kind of morphed over time. Another picture of my wife. She looks great. She looked great before, always a beautiful lady inside and out, but there's just a new confidence level when it comes. What? She's sitting here. She turned around. I'm trying to get brownie points. So, but a new confidence level that comes when you look good on the outside, but not only that, you're healing yourself on the inside. This is my mother-in-law. She actually started Shibboleth in January of this year. And within, I think like 5 months, she had lost 40 pounds. So what an incredible transformation. But let me take y'all on over here to the website really quick. Look, here's my friend, Becky Harrell. Becky, if you're watching or maybe watching on replay, congratulations. She just recently got her 50-pound badge. Let me blow this up just a little bit, see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, so she just got her 50-pound badge. Awesome. So there's part of the website that's public that you can come here to, and you can see testimonials. Maybe you're interested in reading some other stories of how Shibboleth has changed the lives of people. You can come right here to myshibboleth.com, and there's a public area, and you can see all of these testimonials. You can see all of the real life stories of these people, like Wanda Jenkins, who has lost 70 pounds. And y'all, a lot of these people, their stories have not maybe been updated, and they've lost even more weight. We see Allison here, and she was able to lose 68 pounds, and Cynthia, she lost 50 pounds. And I'm just telling you story after story after story of real life people who have made the decision to live the Shibboleth lifestyle. And I love reading these, and I wanted to share those with y'all. We'll go to our blog for just a second. We have Gwen here, who's lost 18 pounds, and she tells her story about contracting COVID, and a lot of us lived through that. My wife and I had COVID, and we can relate to that if you've dealt with that. Rosa Lee, she lost 100 pounds. Y'all, these are story after story of incredible people who are no different than me and no different than you, but struggled in whatever way with their weight. And so this is Missy, y'all. Can you believe this? Missy lost 172 pounds, and she's still on her weight loss journey. She says she has more to lose. Y'all, take a look at this. This is Missy and her daughter's in her prom gown. And look at this. Missy got into that thing. I mean, have you ever? How awesome is that? So again, just story after story of real life people. But I told y'all about my mom and her sitting me down that day and telling me or showing me the website. And so I want to give y'all a little sneak peek at the website. So once you get logged in, I want to show y'all a couple things. I want to show y'all your journal. So every time I mention to someone, so we get to journal every day, and they're like, I have to journal. That's not what you think. All you're doing is tracking whether you're going to have a perfect day or a holiday. So right here, you see this perfect day. Now I have a lot of different options, and you will as well. But the two that we're concerned with is perfect day or holiday. Remember, holiday, we get 6 of those a month, and we can go eat at the buffet, or we can eat a bag of chips, and that's a holiday, and we mark it as a holiday. You can put your weight in here. Y'all see this morning, my goal weight was 162. Right now I'm 166.8. So I'm still right there in my goal weight range. And that's always exciting. Again, it's a great management system. Cool thing is, let me show you all this. And this is what motivated me. You say, how did you do it? How did you stay motivated? How did you lose the weight? Well, every time you mark that you're going to have a perfect day, you start after 2 days, you start to get these flames. Y'all see these flames? These flames represent that I am burning fat, that my insulin is under control, and that my body is burning stored fat. And y'all, this is not just a weight loss program. This is a burning stored fat program. And the reason I say that is, Travis always said that you can lose up to 10% of your body weight in the first 30 days. And y'all, that's absolutely the truth. Why do I know? Because I did it. I was able to lose like 20 pounds in my first 30 days. After the first month, y'all, my clothes were starting to fall off. And so it wasn't just weight, because we've all lost weight on a lot of different things. It's literal inches that are melting off because we are getting rid of that stored fat. Y'all see these little smiley faces looking through that mask? Those are the holidays that I've taken. And so you can see that, but I want to show y'all something really cool. We're going to go all the way back to May of 2018 when I started, and I want to show y'all what that calendar looks like. For those of y'all, maybe you're just hopping on Facebook, if you'd go ahead and click that share button. We love to share Shibboleth with the world, and so the easiest way to do that is for y'all to click that share button. My dog is going crazy, so we are real people. You can see here that I joined on the 26th of, there she goes. And so there she goes. That's live television, y'all. We're a hot mess here at my house, but people love the messes. So isn't that right? Makes you feel better about yourself. I joined right here on the 26th of May, and you can see I had these two check marks. That means I had my first 2 perfect days there, and then boom, on the 31st, I got my flame. I was burning fat. So let me just go through June, and I'll show y'all. I started getting these flames, and I was like, man, that is awesome. And you can see when you have a holiday, flame goes away. I'm telling, that was motivating for me. I didn't want to lose my flame. And so the beautiful thing about Shibboleth is they give us a way to be accountable to ourselves by marking that we're going to have a perfect day. And then they give us these visuals of these flames on these calendars that we're able to go back through and look. We can also track our food on here. That way, if you're having maybe a plateau, you could go back and look and see, well, what was I eating when I was losing weight? Oh, that's what I was eating. I want to show you this too, the resources. Now, y'all, on Shibboleth, they give us so many, here's that cool, look at this, y'all. Here's that cool chat thing right here. Now they're closed. The ladies don't stay up all night long answering questions, but there's the chat feature right there. But y'all, I want to show you all this approved food library. There are literally thousands of foods that are approved. Here we have our combinations, or I'm sorry, our categories. Category 1, lean protein. Well, if you don't know what category something falls into, you can literally just come up here and type in chicken. Maybe you're at the grocery store and you're looking at 2 different items and you're thinking, one of these is approved and one isn't. I remember hearing about this. You can go right on the app or right on the website and you can type in bread, or you can type in chicken, or you can type in whatever it might be that you're standing there in the grocery store looking at, and it's going to tell you if it's approved. It's going to tell you how much of it you can have. Let's just scroll down. Let's see. This is not in my notes, so obviously y'all know. Let me type in bread. That's one that I know everybody loves. Bread. So you're standing there at the grocery store. You don't know what type of bread that is approved. You can sit here. You can type in the word bread. It's going to browse through the site. It's going to show you every type of approved bread that you could possibly eat. Not only that, but when you type in these foods, it's going to bring up recipes that include these foods that are approved. And so that's awesome. I'll show you all the recipes in just a second. Now, my favorite bread that I absolutely love is this right here, y'all. This Nature's Own. I'm telling you, even if you're not doing Shibboleth, go buy some of this. It's called keto. Remember, I can't do keto because I'm a crazy person. But and I just didn't care for it. But that's me. Y'all don't throw tomatoes at me. But this bread right here, legit tastes like white bread. Like it sticks, excuse me for a minute while I talk like the big boy that I am on the inside. But what I love about bread is when it kind of sticks to the roof of your mouth, you know. I know it's embarrassing. Travis is going to fire me. This bread does that. It tastes just like white bread, if you know what I mean. And so I love this bread. But you come down here and it tells you where you can find it. And so all the stores. And so that's so cool. Let me show you something else in this resource tab. We have approved recipe library. Y'all, literally every week we're adding recipes. They give you a little glimpse here. Let's say, all right, let's do this. Let's say you have chicken in the freezer. You wake up one morning and you're like, oh, I want to stay approved. I've got some chicken in the fridge. Let's say it's already thawed out. What can I do with it? Well, you can type in the word chicken and it's going to pull up every recipe that we have available with chicken. Look at this, y'all. Carb quick chicken and dumplings. We had this the other night. You talk about slap your mama. I ain't being rude. I would never slap my mama, but this will make you want to think about it. Chicken and dumplings, so good. So it shows you all the recipes that you have with whatever ingredient, you know, main ingredient that you have on hand. You can just come through here and browse, y'all. You can browse for hours. Look how many pages. Let's go to page 4. I don't know what's over there. Oh, y'all, there's this chicken recipe called 15-minute balsamic chicken. It is the best stuff you've ever put in your mouth. So I love that we have all these resources here. We've got challenges that we can do, all kinds of cool stuff. But let's click back over here on the resources. Do you like to eat out? Guess what? You can eat out on Shibboleth. There is a great part of our website that shows you all the restaurant options that we have here in Shibboleth. You're able to go through these. Maybe you're out of town and maybe you're going out with friends and you want to know, look, all Mexican restaurants. Who loves Mexican food? Can I get a witness? Applebee's, Arby's, y'all, Chick-fil-A. Did I mention that we can have, look at this. You're not even gonna believe it. I'm gonna show you. Chick-fil-A. Look at this. 8 chicken nuggets. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna blow your mind. Y'all see this? Y'all see that? That is fried chicken nuggets. You can eat fried chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A and lose weight. I did it, y'all. It is an awesome lifestyle. So that is a little bit of the website. And the reason I wanted to show y'all that as a member, this is the membership or member side of the website, because this is what my mom showed me. And I was like, wow, that is very intuitive. And there's just a lot of resources there. And so I wanted to be sure that I showed y'all that. So let's come back on over here. And I want to answer a few questions that I know people have. Do I have to order special foods? No, you do not have to order special foods. Everything that you need to be able to lose 20, 25, 50, 100, 150 pounds, whatever it is you need to lose, you get right at your local grocery store. Remember, Shibboleth is education. They're going to teach you what foods are approved and how to properly combine those food categories in order to burn stored fat. So no, you do not have to buy foods. You do not have to buy special supplements. You do not have to drink a shake. You do not have to eat things you don't like. If you don't like broccoli, guess what? You don't have to eat broccoli. If you don't like pork, you don't have to eat pork. If you don't like whatever it might be, name it, you don't have to eat that. There are so many foods. Remember, we are an inclusive lifestyle, not an exclusive lifestyle. And I love that about Shibboleth. So you do not order special foods. Do you have to exercise? This slide says no, our founder has lost more than 100 pounds and thousands of our members have lost tens of thousands of pounds following this fun lifestyle. You know, exercise is always beneficial, guys, but it is not required. And I love that Shibboleth puts things in the right order. You know, I do work out now. I didn't work out that entire time that I lost the 50 pounds. I work out now and I see so many people in the gym, so many people that were there like I would have been. Y'all, I never went to a gym. I would have been too embarrassed to show up there. The size that I was, very insecure. I was a very secure person. Y'all know I love a stage and I love a microphone and I love a light and I love to sing and I love to entertain people. but that's my comfort zone. But my way out of the box non-comfort zone would be a gym with all these fantastic looking people. So I do work out now. I did not work out to lose the weight, but I see so many people, in the gym, and I just wonder if they've got their their timeline right. Are they focusing? And maybe they are. Maybe they're trying hard to get healthy, but are they putting the exercise, are they putting the gym ahead of what they're putting in their body? And so to answer this question, I get it a lot. No, you absolutely do not have to exercise to do Shibboleth. Can I eat fast food? We talked about that, guys. I love it. We can eat at Wendy's. We can eat at Taco Bell. We can eat at Chick-fil-A. Maybe you work in an office and you get a lunch break and you're usually having to run through a drive-through. Shibboleth is as easy as that. We can make this lifestyle as quick and convenient as we need it to be. And can we say Chick-fil-A fried chicken nuggets one more time? It makes me a happy person. I like to cook. Some of y'all actually like to cook. I love to cook. Maybe some of you hate to cook. That's fine too. But if you like to cook, maybe you've got some secret family recipes from your grandma, and you want to keep making those. Guess what? Shibboleth can help you do that. We have a group that you can submit your recipe to, and they will tweak it and they will make it Shibboleth approved, and it will go on the website with the Shibboleth recipes. Unless it's your granny's secret recipe, then don't tell them, no, don't put that out there. That's my grandma's recipe. She'll come back from the dead and haunt me. We don't want that. Can I have ice cream? You wouldn't believe. People actually ask, can I have ice cream? Yes, you can have ice cream. I've got pints of ice cream in my freezer right now. We love Halo Top. We love Chili Cow. There are so many approved ice creams. This slide tells us there are more than 60. My son's in the background. He just held up not approved ice cream. He is very, very skinny and healthy, and so he can and strong. He says, yes. He said, if anyone has a single daughter, y'all saw him. My God, this is my thing. Get off my stage. Anyway, we have over 60 ice creams that are totally approved that promote fat loss. Can I have chips? Y'all, I am a chip, crunchy, salty person. Yes, you can have chips. Guess what? When you're having a perfect day, you can't have any type of chips, but if you're having a holiday, you can have any chips you want. I love Lay's salt and vinegar. That is my go-to on a holiday. But there are hundreds of snacks, hundreds of chips that are approved and that continue to promote fat loss, so that you are not on the fat bus, you are on the fat burning bus. All right, so let's come down here. I want to show you all some of the things that I eat. This was one of the things that I wanted to show you. All it is tweaking what you're already eating, y'all. Go from the Wonder Bread to the honey wheat keto 40 calorie. I love this stuff. It's so good. This was something that I posted on Instagram not too long ago. Y'all, this is one of the breakfasts that I love. This is a Thomas 100 calorie maybe, or is it 100 calorie? My wife's in the background doing like this and like this. So it's one of those English muffins, and then I've got some egg beaters. If you haven't had those, they're low calorie egg whites, and then fat-free cheese, and then I drizzle a little bit of syrup on top. Y'all, this is so good. Yes, we can have French toast for breakfast or lunch or dinner and still lose weight. Here's one that I did, just some toast and a couple pieces of cheese and some egg whites, and that was delicious. We had a baby shower at work and had all of this amazing non-approved food coming in, and I knew that. And so I told a couple of people that work with me that are doing Shibboleth too. I said, well, I'll make us an approved breakfast casserole. Y'all, this thing right here was legit. People were jealous that they were eating the other stuff and not this, because it was just so flat out good. Pancakes, y'all, love pancakes. This black bean burritos with roasted red peppers, y'all, absolutely amazing. If you love shrimp, guess what? You can have shrimp. If you need a quick grab and go protein shakes, these are delicious. Now, I've only found these one time. This peaches and cream, so good. If you like chicken pot pie, we can do that. This is chicken pot pie. If you like, look, you can go to the store, grab a rotisserie and eat on that all week. It is as simple as that with some broccoli. We've got Baja fish tacos. This is all stuff that I've cooked. Y'all, you can have pizza. Did you know you can have pizza and lose weight? This is the California Kitchen pizza. This is one of my favorite. I think it's like called margarita or something like that. I love this. But you can have pizza from Domino's. You can have their Philly cheesesteak, thin crust pizza. Y'all, it is absolutely amazing. Roast, and look, in the place of potatoes, these are radishes. Do not turn your nose up at it until you try it. Guess what this is? This is biscuits that I made. Y'all, I am not kidding. You can have it on Shibboleth. We made this last night. This is the one pot cheesy Italian pasta. Simply amazing, guys. I absolutely love this lifestyle. It is, again, the most inclusive thing that I have ever done. And I'm thankful that I never have to look for anything else to do. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on right now. And if y'all have questions, let's see who is saying stuff over here. I'm making approved fried chicken right now, Marla. That is awesome. Let's see who's saying something over here in Facebook land. Nobody has anything, but they sure are watching. I've got some viewers. But listen, here is the deal. If you are interested in learning more about Shibboleth, keep tuning in. We do these free webinars all the time. If you're sitting on the other side of that screen and you thought, he was talking to me, if you're tired of the way you feel, if you're tired of wondering what's going to button in the morning when you go in your closet, maybe you're tired of going to the doctor every quarter, every year, and him having that talk with you one more time. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're just tired of the way you look. That was me. More than anything, I wanted to look healthy. Call that vain if you will. But there is a level of confidence that comes with feeling good on the inside and then that manifesting itself on the outside as well, y'all. It is a great thing and you can do it. Right now, we've got a special going on. I want to tell y'all about that really quick. So let me share my screen one more time. I'm getting better at this. There was that one pot pasta. Right now, we have a 1 year, all plans included. This is Fast Track. This is Shibboleth, Journey, and Tiger. You get everything on the website. Look at that, y'all. If they were to charge us regular price, it'd be $500. Right now, the special is $99. That gets you a year membership. And y'all, I know what you're thinking. $99, is that like a month? No, it is not $99 a month. I was talking to a lady last night and she was like, this is incredible. She said, I was looking at another program and they wanted to charge me $400 like upfront and then an additional monthly fee. And I was like, no, that's noise. All that is somebody looking at the bottom line. I want to tell you something about Shibboleth. Shibboleth is a ministry first. And what that means is that we put people above profits. If you know anything about Travis Martin and Sasha, they have a heart for people. And anybody down the line that is in any way affiliated with Shibboleth, me actually having the opportunity to come on here and share with you tonight. I'm sharing because I have a heart for people. Because I can relate to where you are tonight. I can relate to being unhappy and unhealthy and searching, the constant searching for the next best thing can just be overwhelming. And so Travis has a heart for people above profits. And I love that about Shibboleth. So, $99 gets you everything you need. It gets you immediate access to that fast track. It gets you the extensive grocery list here on the screen, thousands of approved recipes. You get all of the tools to start burning fat. Let's see, you get the support, y'all. The support is amazing on the website. And so that is a huge selling point. And it's something that I grew to appreciate more and more as I went through my journey on Shibboleth. $99, y'all. And you might, I don't know how you could say this, but some people might be thinking, well, why isn't it free? Well, you see the website that we have and how responsive and dynamic that it is. And, it costs money to do that. I am in the IT field, and so I understand that technology, there is an investment to be made there. And so what this does is it allows Shibboleth to continue growing. The website is living and it's breathing and it never stops. And they never stop working with and for us. And I love that about our Shibboleth family and Travis and Sasha. They're just so awesome. So I want to let you know, if you want to take up on that deal, just go to shibbolethdeals.com. I have that on the screen there. So if you need to jot that down, go to shibbolethdeals.com and you can join tonight, guys. You can change your life tonight. And make sure that when you do, there will be a box there, a text box where you can put the name of the person that referred you to this video, referred you to Shibboleth. And the only reason for that is we love at Shibboleth to reach out to those people and let them know that they're saving lives. So the person that referred you, they'll get an email that says, hey, you're saving a life. And so we want to make sure that we can reach out to them and celebrate with them. And we want to celebrate with you. We want you on this journey with us. We want you to explore all the possibilities that you never thought were possible. And guys, I'm telling y'all, it's one of the greatest things, one of the greatest decisions apart from my salvation, my love for Jesus, my love for my family. But guys, and our pastor, he preached on this a couple Wednesday nights ago. You've got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. That's a biblical thing. And so I want you to take care of yourself. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. I've enjoyed it. I love sharing my heart because I know that it's simply making an impact in our communities, in our states, in our country, and in our world. And it's also allowing us to build the kingdom for Jesus, right? Because we're our best self when we're healthy and we can serve the Lord together and not be, huffing and puffing over our belly like I was at one time. So let's get healthy and let's serve the Lord together. Y'all take care. Thank y'all for spending a few minutes with me on this Thursday evening. I will be back, I believe, next Thursday. So if you have a loved one, a friend, a BFF, a neighbor that you think, man, they could really use this, send them our way. Let them watch these webinars, and we will be so thankful that you did that. Y'all take care. Go to shibbolethdeals.com, check it out, sign up. You've waited this long. Don't wait another day. Think of where you could be 6 months from now. You could be 50 pounds, 75 pounds lighter. And we will be there with you every step of the way to celebrate every badge that you earn. Y'all take care. I love you all. If you ever need anything, follow me on Facebook and Instagram and ask. I'm always willing to help. Thanks, guys.